Welcome to another 30 Minutes with the Lowe, who puts a high in your viewing entertainment. Today's guests are both associated with the current presentation of The Artful Lodgers at the Matrix Theater here in Hollywood. Donning a producer's cap for the first time is a woman who is a former Miss America, a mother, spokeswoman, and actress. It might be noted, too, that she bears an apt surname, for like it, her beauty and cheery disposition cause it to be sunny in her presence. She is the lovely Lee Merriweather. Joining Miss Merriweather today is the author of The Artful Lodgers. That he should have written such a clever, engaging play comes as no surprise. He is Marshal Borden, and, as everyone knows, if it's Borden's, it's got to be good. And now, here to speak with our guests is your engaging man of the half hour, Skip E. Lowe.
Miss America, housewife, actress, and now producer. Marshal Borden, she's a producer now. Tell me about this wonderful project you're into.
Oh, well, I've scheduled my next nervous breakdown for an hour and 15 minutes. Will that take care of this show, Skip? I think. Oh, it's nerve-wracking, I must say, but I'm learning.
You are?
Oh, yes.
Tell me something. Marshal.
Yes.
Tell me what's happening with the play.
Well,
Artful Lodgers. Is that right?
We are open now. We've been running about a week, finally getting it up to speed, cranking it up and getting it going. And it's the audiences are enjoying it immensely.
I was there,
Yeah.
opening night.
Were you there?
I loved
Oh,
it, yeah.
wonderful.
I loved it. I did, yeah, I loved it. I must tell you, I really enjoyed it very much. Tell me, how did you get into that project, writing Artful Lodgers?
Well, it was a fascinating thing. I was called to write a one-act, I was commissioned to write a one-act play one time, and they said, do you have one act lying about? And I said, no. I said, yes. And for some strange reason, these four people popped into my mind. These four people I actually spent a night with in this hotel, this Georgian manor in the west of Ireland. They were four absolutely magnificently mad, wonderful people. It was the most incredible evening I have ever spent in my life. And so I met these four people. The rest is, the play is completely made up, but these four characters
From
are
the four
real.
people?
The four people are real,
That's
yeah.
true.
No,
Lee Merriweather.
yes.
Tell me, my God, a mother of two daughters.
Yes.
Miss America of 19...
No.
Oh, mother of two lovely daughters, and one of your daughters are in the play.
Yes, yes. Well,
Yes.
one is on the boards and playing a nice role in the piece, and the other is behind the scenes. She's our production coordinator. So
I see.
yeah.
Who's directing the play?
Stuart Bishop.
Who is Stuart Bishop now?
Stuart is from back east. He's for many years he ran over a decade. He ran the Milwaukee Melody Top, and he's put Irene, Debbie Reynolds into Irene and Broadway. He's done Broadway and regional and musical theater around the country for many years.
He directed us in Angel Street in San Antonio.
Oh, he did?
Baldorf's Theater down there for Earl Hall.
That's right. You worked together.
That's
where we met.
That's what I want to find out.
Yes.
Lee Merriweather and Marshal Borden. How did you two met? Yeah, let's go.
Well, that was the play. We did Angel Street. Actually, my daughter was in that too. And
I was inundated with Merriweathers.
yes, we overpowered him, and he was played Inspector Ruff in the show.
Now that we say Angel Street. Now, you should
know,
probably
that's
know that is
Gaslight, yes.
Gaslight.
Yes.
And
in America,
I figured Skip
Of
knew
course,
that, but
sure.
Of course
the
I-
audience may not.
Yeah,
And
thank
it's a delightful, suspense thriller. And Michael Allenson played my husband, who was trying to drive me insane and all that. And Marshal saved me every night.
Marshal.
And-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
well, he saved me in real life too.
Yeah, in real life. Yes. Tell me something. I understand you two are a twosome around town.
Yes. We're an item.
An
It's
item.
in that
Tell me.
Item.
Is there? I understand you are going to get married. Yes. It's the date set up.
No.
It is. You
no.
haven't date set?
Even if we did, we wouldn't tell anyone.
Really?
We were discussing
My
it
mother,
in the car.
my daughters, no one's going to know.
You're not going to be Madonna? Are you going to be Madonna and Sean Penn now?
No.
You're going to tell us where you're going to
the
get married?
geriatric set. That's what we're going to do.
Come on.
Wait a minute, speak for yourself.
All right.
Tell me about the trapeze days. I want to know about those days. Marshal, you don't mind me
not
bringing
a
up
bit,
those days?
certainly.
World days. Well, people do remember that for some
Yes,
reason.
I do. Because you know why I saw one day when I got back from Europe, I turned the TV on, and there you were, trapezing. Circus of the Stars?
Yes.
Now, Lee Merriweather doing trapeze. Tell me about that.
I know. I'm a little long in the tooth to be doing that sort of thing. I don't know. I really have always been fascinated by the circus. Never dreamed that I'd ever appear in one, you know. And years and years ago, I was asked to ride on an elephant for a charity benefit for the circus.
Right.
And I did, and it was such fun. That was really my first taste of it. But then when they did Circus of the Stars, they came and said, would you appear on it? It was a CBS show at the time. I was on CBS with Barnaby Jones. And so then, you know, when you're hot, you're hot.
Right.
So I was asked to do all these, you know, game shows and other specials and all that. And so I learned to fly on the trapeze. I learned to walk the high wire. I rode underneath a motorcycle on a slant wire.
God.
With Peter Fonda driving the motorcycle. And then I did just with, and I worked with both my daughters on the show.
I know, I did see
with
it.
Kyle and with
Kyle.
Lesley both,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I did see that show. And you also MC the the Hollywood Christmas shows,
Oh,
don't
yes,
you?
yes,
Are you
our
gonna do it
Hollywood
this year?
Parade, Christmas Parade, yes.
Every year?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Bob Eubanks and I, we'll do
Getting
it again
ready
this
right
year.
now.
Right now,
Yes,
you're getting
into that.
we start, we will have our first get-together next Friday, as a matter of fact, yes.
And you do the Rose Bowl too? Do you MC
No,
that?
but I want to.
I thought you did MC.
One year, well, they have other contracts with
Right,
other ladies, but one year I hope that they'll let me do it because I've been to it, but not. I mean, I've been to it afterwards, you know, where, where they have the parade floats all lined up and you can go and look at them afterwards. And that was fun. But I really would like to see it up close for
She did
for
the
real.
Indianapolis 500 parade.
Did she?
Yes,
Oh,
Very,
nice.
very well done.
That was exciting.
Was it?
That
Yeah,
was
oh,
marvelous because then we went right from the parade to the race itself. Oh,
Watched it in the tower. Oh, it was
Tell me about Miss Americas today. Is there any difference between the Miss Americas today than when you won it too?
oh yes, yes.
Like what?
They're- Well, I think the girls are much more able to cope with the situation that they will find themselves in once they're touring. I think they're better equipped. They're mentally more agile than the girls around my years. Me, personally, just speaking for myself, I was so totally naive, so unworldly. I didn't
Where
know
are you from
about
originally?
San Francisco. Yes, yes. And I was a 50s, you know, through the 50s, very non-active in politics or in,
Yes.
you know, it was just my own little world and very isolated. And I was not prepared for that.
Tell
for
me
that
something,
year.
Lee. Did you cry when you walked? Everyone cries. Did you?
Yes.
You did
Oh,
cry.
hysterically.
How was this feeling? Tell me, to be Miss America, the feeling when you're walking down there, listening to that music. Give me that. Can you remember that feeling?
Well, I'll tell you, I see it only, I remember it only as you see it, or you saw it
Yes.
on a kinescope. When Lenora Slaughter was then head of the pageant, put the banner across my lap, that's my last memory of actually
Right.
experiencing
Yes,
it.
yes.
And I remember, and then I see it only on the screen because I saw a kinescope of the show. It was
Yes.
the first year it was televised. That's how many years ago it was. And so I see it as everyone who viewed it that night saw it. I have no memory of it
You
as an
don't.
experience.
Isn't that great?
I went into shock, they said. And,
That's beautiful. But you do have a memory of.
just seeing it, yes.
How about Buddy Ebsen? You do have memory of him, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Tell me, what kind of guy is
yes.
Buddy Ebsen
He
to work with?
is heaven.
Is he?
He absolutely is the dearest man alive. He's a professional, he's a
Yes.
gentleman. He is a consummate performer. I mean, so many people aren't aware of his talents.
You learned
as
a lot from him, didn't
Oh,
you?
yes.
Am I right, Lee?
Yes. I also learned how to tap dance.
Did you really?
Oh, yes.
God, she trapeze,
Oh,
tap
yes.
dances.
Well, Buddy
And
will
a-
say, well, you never learned to finish the step. And I keep telling him that I never learned to finish the entire step that he was teaching me so that he'd keep teaching me. He's so dear. He really is. He's
Buddy Ebsen, I love. Yeah.
lovely, lovely man.
Yeah, he was at Warner Brothers for a long time. That's where he started at Warner's. Marshal, tell me something. You were an actor.
Yes, I've made my living as an actor for over 15 years.
15.
He's wonderful. He's
Yes.
a beautiful singing voice, too.
Oh, does he really?
Oh yes, many, many musicals. I was a teacher prior to that.
A teacher in New York? Or
No, in Michigan. I taught everything from the 5th grade through university, and
a school teacher?
yes, a school
Oh,
teacher.
how
Yes,
interesting.
yes. I have a PhD in speech and theater from Wayne State University in Detroit. And then I decided I'm going into the theater.
That's right.
I failed as a teacher. I went into acting.
As classics, do you do classics?
Oh, yes.
You
I
like
was
the-
with, as a matter of fact, a very dear friend of mine was here last night to see the play from with the Stratford Company. And I was with the Stratford Company in 1970 for a season and a half.
Did you?
Yes, and it's one of my very fond memories of theater the way it should
I went to
be
school in
done.
London. I went to
Oh,
RADA.
is that right?
I went to RADA. I studied at RADA for a couple
Were
of
you
years.
there under John Fernald's tenure?
Yes, not 10 years ago. No, this is like.
Was he there? Was
yes.
He yes. Well, that's
This-
who I.
Since 60,
That was
62.
the gentleman that I started under in this country, was
I
John
see.
Fernald. He began a new regional theater in this country, and I began with John.
And you went to the
RADA.
Far East, I understand?
Well, that was, yes, I toured with the Arena Stage from Washington, D.C. We toured 2 productions to Hong Kong for their month-long arts festival that they have in the early spring. And it was a wonderful experience playing there with in their
But that was
facilities.
classics. Was that classics?
That, no, actually, one was After the Fall, and the other was You Can't Take It With You.
Oh.
So it were two modern
was two
American
modern
pieces.
Americans, yes,
Two
uh-huh.
modern American pieces that we toured to the British Crown Colony, I think.
Was that in Hong Kong side?
Yes,
The
Hong Kong side,
Yes,
yes.
uh-huh. I see.
You were there, too.
I lived in Hong Kong for a
Oh,
while.
you
yeah.
did?
Yes, I was entertaining the troops. I got R&R there, arrested.
Uh-huh.
Listen, A Line in the Winter in San Francisco. Tell me about that.
Yes.
That's one
that
of my
was
favorite
great fun.
plays. One of my favorites.
We had such a wonderful experience
Really?
doing that play. Well, Marshal had done the play before with Joan Fontaine and
Several times with Joan Fontaine.
yes, and
Great lady.
oh,
Lovely lady.
and I was asked by actually I wasn't asked. I volunteered. My college, City College of San Francisco, had has all this year, 1985, is their 50th anniversary. And O.J. Simpson and I, being former students, were asked to co-chair the entire year's events. And I wanted to do something more than just the name on the stationery and asking for funds and asking for people to come to various activities. I wanted to be a part of one of the activities, one-on-one, so to speak. And so I thought, well, I'm interested in helping the drama department. Why not do a production of a play using the youngsters in the drama department at the time? And Marshall suggested Lion in Winter because it has our youngsters, our
Yes.
children are in, have wonderful roles in the piece, and we would be the adults, and Marshall could direct it.
Wonderful.
And we had a marvelous time.
San Francisco
Very
audiences are great, aren't
Oh,
they? Aren't they
yes.
great?
Love them. Yes,
Yes.
they're marvelous.
I love them. I really do. I like, but LA's. Tell me about LA audiences. Are they getting better, Marshall? Now be
I
honest.
think,
I
I
mean,
think so.
Can
They
you-
are getting better, are they?
I think so, but simply because
There's
more
more
theater is being
yes,
afforded.
That's what I
mean,
You see,
right.
And
they're
they're
getting used to it. You see, it's God love waiver theater that is allowing people to just more live theater to be about. You see.
I wish they wouldn't come in sneakers, though, on opening night.
Yes.
Or jeans.
Oh, don't
it
get me
just-
started.
Me too, and it annoys me. It just annoys me to go to the theater
well, it's
here
a-
in California. And
Yes, there is that.
It's nice to be comfortable, and I'm
But not that
all for that.
comfortable.
But it's
No.
it's a
There's
time.
comfortable with
it's
taste.
It's
Yeah.
a party atmosphere, and it's
Sure.
it's fun to go out and to see theater. And when you can go to theater and be able to afford it,
Yes.
it's the best buy in Los Angeles.
It is
yes,
the waiver
it really
Waiver
is.
Theater.
Yes, the waiver. It really is. I agree with you. Your play is, it's going to be, how long it's going to be here?
Through December 1st.
And tell us something about the characters in the play.
Well, it's a melange of the most unlikely people that you've ever met in your life. One is the owner of the largest publishing house in Ireland. One is a very successful British mystery writer. The other is a very successful American businesswoman. And the fourth member of the triumvirate is a young man who is an art student from the Sorbonne. He is the concierge. And the fifth member of the quintet is the most interesting. He's the 150-year-old androgynous apparition of the home.
I'd like to do that part. The leprechaun type.
Yes, of course,
I would
that's
love to be the leprechaun
Well,
of that castle.
He has quite a role.
I try. I do my own little flair to it.
Yes,
though.
of course. Of course. But he's such a fun character.
And Ray Stewart is playing
Ray
that.
Stewart plays that role.
He is wonderful.
Yes,
I
Ray
must
does a
say.
marvelous job.
Yeah.
Dennis Patrick plays Seamus, the Irish publisher. And John David Carson plays the young concierge.
Jean
And
Byron.
Jean Byron plays Hannah, the American businesswoman, and who's
Dean Dickman.
Dean Dickman plays
The Texan.
The
Well,
Texan
Texan and
comes
his
to.
wife, Barbara
Uh-huh.
Casey.
Barbara
And Barbara,
Casey.
she's wonderful.
Oh yes,
They
yes,
are
yes,
both
wow.
wonderful.
Yes, and we have my daughter, Kyle.
Your daughter is just
Kyle Aletter.
wonderful. She's
Yes.
natural.
Yes,
she
she
is
is.
so natural.
Yeah,
I
she does
loved
very
her.
well in it.
Thought she was
And
just-
Mark Mantell plays her husband in the
yes,
play.
he was wonderful. They're all very, very good. They're real good.
We have two young men who play other roles in the was Logan Carter
Yeah,
and
they
Michael
were
E.
at.
Andrews.
Tell us about them. They were at
Wonderful.
La Cage aux Folles. How did you
Yes.
get these two gentlemen now?
Yes.
We went to look out. Oh,
You did.
Yes.
we've been there a number of times actually, for parties and things, and I enjoyed the show. It's a lovely show, and so
That's
we've
a-
just been in it.
He does a wonderful number at La Cage. The
Oh,
dressing up. The
the,
number,
Yes.
What is a man?
What is a man?
What is a man?
Marvelous
It's a beautiful number, and he does it
I
so
love it.
brilliantly.
Yeah, but the Americans really, they don't get that number correctly.
We're a bit behind Europe.
Yeah, yeah.
In that respect.
Yeah, it's a very
it's coming though.
It's a very European
it's
number.
coming
It's very
now.
French. It's a very French number.
Yes.
And so that's how you got the idea. You picked those two gentlemen.
Yes.
And that's their first time on stage, I
Yes.
think, or acting-wise.
Acting wise,
I
yes, it
think
is.
both of them probably did.
They have
high
done
school and
television.
college, but they have done television. Yes.
And, yeah.
And you're at the Matrix Theater,
Matrix Theater through December 1st.
December 1st, and Melrose.
It's Wednesday through Sunday.
It's a lovely little theater.
Oh, it's
I
a
must
beautiful
say.
theater.
It is. It's a
Wonderful.
very comfortable,
Makes one
lovely theater.
enjoy going to the theater.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. And parking's very easy around there. It's not that bad. That's the new area right now. Melrose.
Oh, my gosh.
Shopping.
It's like,
the resurgence is
isn't it?
wonderful. It's
Columbus
very
Avenue in
exciting.
New York that
Exactly.
Yeah.
just burgeoned, and
I love it.
Melrose is just going crazy. I love it.
Yeah, I do too, Marshal.
Very, very vibrant. You can go out and walk. They don't walk in Los Angeles, but you can go out and walk on Melrose.
And
People
you
walk.
do- that's what we've seen as we were rehearsing, at the theater. That's the
The parade,
traffic
just
Yes.
the
going
parade.
by.
Just
I mean,
walk
the
and just
walking
having a good
traffic.
time.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Norman Mailer.
Yes.
Tell me about that. A new thing on Broadway.
Oh, yes. Well,
Yes.
it was actually a backers audition, which we did at the American Place Theater. And someone has told me recently, I think that they have done another one, but I'm not sure, I'm not privy to it. It was a brand new play, which Norman had written in conjunction with another young man, about Marilyn Monroe.
That's correct.
And it's called Strawhead. And we did a backers audition of that. And it was very interesting working with Mailer and the other people. We put it all together. And it was a fascinating show.
I understand you're writing a novel.
Yes, I'm just...
He's busy, isn't
the
he?
novel is finished. I'm finished the rewrites on it.
You
Need
are?
another month.
What's it about? Tell us. Could you tell us a little about
sure.
it? or-
It's very quickly. It's
No, he'll tell you, but he won't tell me.
it's
Finally, I get to hear.
okay.
Go ahead,
hopefully
Marshal.
it's called the Amaranth Affair, and it's sort of Robert Ludlum-esque. It's gratuitous sex and international violence.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, you know, I mean, that's,
I
what do you
knew
need?
I wouldn't hear what
that's
it's about.
I told you.
Did you know that? Did you know that Lee went to school with Johnny Mathis? I was told. Is that true?
Yes, yes.
Johnny
he went
Mathis?
to Washington High School in San Francisco.
Can you
High
tell him that
school.
story very quickly that I
Please.
adore?
What is it?
About
Oh.
Johnny? I just
Yes.
Well,
love
when
this story.
I was on the Today Show, I went onto the Today Show right after the Miss America tour.
Right.
And Johnny, of course, I adored Johnny,
great.
and I had a 45 record that he had made, and I took it with me to New York. Well, I got to know Skitch Henderson, who was then the musical director on The Tonight Show with Steve Allen. And I said, I have a friend who is a very good singer, and would you listen? Would you listen to
Would
him,
you
please?
listen?
Yes.
And listening, he said, Lee, do you have any idea how many of these I listen to a week? Please. And he listened for a few minutes. He really didn't give it a chance. He really wasn't listening. He wasn't paying attention. And I mean, who was I to bring? I mean,
Right,
I was
right.
certainly not head of RCA or anything like that to give it.
Right.
And then a year later, I ran into Skitch. And by this time, Johnny's first album and a half, or 2 albums, had come out, and several hits. And I said, do you remember, Skitch, me coming to you and something like this? And he said, no. And I said, do you know who that was? And he said, no. I said, Johnny Mathis. He said, no. And I said, it was. He said, no. You don't tell me that. You don't tell me
I
that.
think it's adorable.
He could have discovered him, and he died.
The beginning of that
Yeah,
story
it's
when they
great.
were in school, and I love it when they were at Christmas time, and they were all. This is
Oh,
when Lee knew he was
yes.
going to be a star.
I
They
knew
were
he
all.
was.
You did, Lee?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I
This is
knew.
how she knew. They were all in the, she was working in a department store, and the school choirs were coming in to sing during the Christmas holidays. And of course, Christmas shopping and people bustling and the
They
choir
never
singing.
stopped
You
to
know, you
listen
never think.
to any of the choirs
All
or
of a
any the
sudden,
singers.
a voice began to sing Ave Maria.
Yeah.
And she said the entire store
Really?
came to a complete standstill. She said,
Yeah.
that's going to be a star.
Yeah.
See, that certain, it's that
Yes.
certain individuality quality.
Yes.
That quality. Yes. They have, how about actors? Do they have that?
Oh, yes.
What do you,
Well, it's that
Absolutely.
old it
Capital I,
quality.
capital T.
yes, yes.
That was, you know,
can't
it
teach
was
it.
that it, something that
Yeah, it's something
it's
there.
just there.
It's this.
No.
Marshall, do you recognize it right away?
Well, it's not something that jumps at you, but it's something that you recognize very quickly. I wouldn't say right away, but very quickly you can see it in an
Yeah.
actor. Young, very young actors, very, anytime you can spot it.
Do we have any good ones around?
Oh, yes,
We
yes,
do,
there
yeah.
are tons of good actors and actresses around. I mean,
They just need the breaks.
they need the work, they need
need
the
to work.
vehicles.
Yeah.
You see,
The
need to-
luck.
the
being
luck.
at the right place
Oh.
at the right time.
Persistence, too. It's
Oh,
the
yes.
persistence, yeah.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
absolutely.
Your daughter, she studies?
Yes.
Does she?
Yes.
Who does she study with?
Tracy Roberts was her last.
wonderful.
Yes,
She's wonderful.
yes.
Tracy Roberts is
She
marvelous.
was, she just, I mean, within a few days, was starting with someone else, but I can't, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name.
But you're a very busy lady.
Oh.
Being a producer, are you really liking it now? Lee, really?
Oh, well, it's funny, having given birth to two
Two
daughters.
lovely daughters.
It's like that, except that all of a sudden it's taken away from you and you can't nurse anymore. It's almost like that. I'm taking care of it, but it's not.
Yes.
It's not hands-on. You
Yes,
know,
yes.
it's
You
gone
have no
from
control.
me now.
You have no
yes,
control.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
As a
it's
playwright, the
nerve-wracking.
same way as a
Oh,
writer?
yes, the
You
minute
have-
the minute
I
you have
would
it
think
created,
so.
you begin to
Yeah.
lose control.
You do.
Yeah, you try to maintain it as much as possible, but it really is, if you go into television or film with it or to Broadway with it, then, you know, you begin, little pieces, they begin to chip away. Theater you can maintain more control.
Yes.
But when you go to the other media, then you start to lose control completely, because they want a committee to do it,
I see.
you see. The author, they don't want the author. Get out. Go away.
I see.
I don't want to talk to you. You created this. What do you know? Get out. Now we're going to give it to this committee and let them
yes,
write it.
Yes. Do you see your actors? Your
Sure.
actors in this Artful Lodgers tell me something. Do you see? Oh God, he's doing it wrong, or he's doing
Oh,
it.
yes,
I
yes.
mean,
Because
it's
you see,
not-
I played all the roles, even the women's roles. I played them all when
Did you
I wrote.
really?
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh.
And there's a couple I'd like to play in there, too. But, but I play all the roles, so I hear them in my head, you see.
Uh-huh.
Or if there's a moment, a beat or something, of course, I hear that. I play it all.
Tennessee Williams said the same thing.
Yes.
That's what Tom said.
And when they don't get that beat
Uh-huh.
or get that moment, and then they wonder why it doesn't work, and I say, well, you're not doing it right. And they say, what are you talking about? What do you know? You just wrote it. Get out of here. But that's it. You must hear it all in your head.
I see.
And that's
Where are you from, Marshall?
Michigan originally.
Originally.
Yeah.
And that's where you grew
I was
up.
born and raised in Michigan.
And you were a school teacher there.
Yeah, school teacher.
Where in
for-
Michigan?
It's I was born and raised in Howell, Michigan. That's a small town
Small
about
town.
50 miles outside of Detroit.
Oh.
And then
I love
went
small
school-
towns.
Oh,
yes.
it's wonderful. I've been there now.
I bet that town is so small. Howard Johnson's carry one flavor.
That,
I'll bet that's how small.
that town is so small that the city limit signs on both
Yeah.
sides of this. I mean, wow.
You two can exchange.
But you know, I am coming to see this play again. I really loved it.
Oh, good. I'm glad
I
you
really
did.
loved it, and it's going to be there until
Through
the
December 1st.
through. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I think
It's a limited run. We started it with a limited run intentionally because we have
turnouts are
specific
great.
plans.
You had a lot of
Yeah.
stars coming there.
Oh, boy, I tell you.
The night I was there was Dorothy Lamour and Rhonda Fleming.
Yes.
Good
Anne
God.
Blythe and,
Anne
and
Blythe.
Jane Keane and
Yes.
Tony Martin and Sid
Virginia Mail.
Cherise were there last
Yes.
night.
I had
Yeah.
Virginia Mail on my show.
Isn't she?
David,
dear?
wasn't that an interesting show? We had a very interesting show with Virginia Mail. Don't say that, David. She was a lovely lady.
Oh, yeah.
But I really enjoyed the show, and I am definitely coming back to see the show very, very soon.
Good. I
Very,
hope you
very
do.
soon. And if Stuart would like to give up the part, if you're looking for
Ray.
Ray Stewart,
want
I
Ray?
love to that leprechaun.
yes.
I think
Oh, yeah,
Reggie is a marvelous
yes, it's a
part.
wonderful
it's a
role.
wonderful role. for someone.
Yes, it's a tour de
Oh,
force,
it
truly.
is.
It is
Truly.
a wonderful role for someone. Did you think of, there's a guy at La Cage aux Folles, Gypsy, was it? Yeah, I
Yes,
think-
uh-huh.
No,
Gypsy.
yeah, you didn't think of Gypsy, did you?
Well, no,
Not
but
really.
Not really.
because Gypsy is such an entity into himself.
That's right.
He is.
He's very special.
Oh
from home.
yes,
He's special.
yes, he
He's
is.
special.
And he's quite gifted actor. I'm sure he could play the
Yeah,
role.
yeah.
But it's because
Yes.
he is that character. He was so overpowering that I had not seen him act when we were casting this at all. I had not seen him act. I have since seen a film in which he played
With Annie
a role.
Bancroft or
Yes.
something, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
thought he was wonderful.
She
Yes.
coached him in that, you know.
Did she?
She certainly, that was his first major motion picture.
But he was marvelous
Well, he
First
was.
major motion picture, and
Good for
she
him.
coached him.
No.
She really coached him. Well, I would like to be coached by her too. I
in
think
it. Not a
she's
bad
marvelous.
teacher.
Yeah,
Not
exactly,
a bad
right,
teacher.
Marshal?
She hires out.
Get me the phone.
But I must say, I want to thank you very, very much, both of you coming.
Thank you.
To see.
Yeah,
I
it's
really,
great
I
fun.
really enjoy having you both and talking about this.
Thank
And to
you.
meet Miss America, finally.
Remember them years?
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
just. How would you won't tell us the year?
Oh, anyone knows. It's 1955.
That's it. 1955. Miss America.
I was a mere puppy then.
Oh, get
Lee
out.
Merriweather. Tell me, when did you drop Anne?
Well, I never
When did you-
used Ann. It was Ann was. They never ask in Atlantic City whether you like your middle name.
I
They
see.
just use it.
Oh, and they used it.
They send it out because that's how you're signed
Yes.
up for the pageant. They ask for your full name, so you write down Lee Ann Meriwether.
I see.
That's why Evelyn Margaret A.
I see.
Sharon K. Ritchie, you know, so all of them. All of them.
Is
have
that your
this
real name?
Yes.
Weatherman? Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that's, and San Francisco.
Yes.
It's a great town. I love San Francisco. It's wonderful, Marshal. Tell me something, Marshal. You are. What's going to happen after this play? with
Well,
you?
for me,
Yeah.
yes, well, the first thing I'm going to do, I need 1 more month to finish the rewrites on my novel. And then I'm going to get back out in the streets and continue to earn my living as an actor.
Ah.
Yeah. I have several other writing projects which I'm going to get
You
at
do
soon.
television.
Oh, yes.
A lot of TV work. I see.
Soap operas and things like that.
You do soap operas.
Oh, yeah.
Do you really?
He did. He
I
played
did.
In which
a
ones?
horrendous character for
Really?
about a year.
Oh, it was great
didn't
fun. It was great fun.
Which ones?
It
Which
was, let's see, it was years ago. It was on One Life to Live. He was a wife-beating, son-murdering, psychotic, alcoholic, Bible-thumping hillbilly. I had a lot of fun.
That was the character that he played, and I saw a film clip of it, and I thought I would die. I mean, it's so far from this man right here. That was just amazing. And
You
he's a
enjoyed working in
very
the
good-
Barnaby Jones, huh?
Oh, Barney,
Did you?
Yes.
Did you?
I love
You had that.
it.
You had a good time.
Oh, it was heaven.
Yeah.
Buddy, Mark Shera, John Carter, those were our running characters,
Yes,
you know.
right.
And our crew was just a heaven-sent crew.
Yeah.
Gets to
We're
be
very,
family.
very lucky.
Yes, it
You
does.
do. You end up spending so much time with them. And to have such a wonderful, warm relationship, working relationship along with it, well,
Well, that's great.
it's
That is
sure
just
joy.
wonderful. I'm so happy to have you both on the show today, and I really
Thank you,
thank
Stuart.
you very,
Good
very much.
fun.
I think
Fun.
yeah, it was fun coming down to the studio here today. I was going to bring the cameras to the theater, but I said no, let's do it here at the studio.
Just as easy as we
It's-
like.
Yes.